The question really that I want to try and answer is, how can you get on the first page of Google if you don't even have a website? Well, it turns out you can. And it's actually not that hard, and I've been doing this now with a number of my, well, not a whole lot, but it's just a program I'm just starting, so I'm on like my 4th client right now, going through this process of getting them some outstanding search engine visibility when in some cases they don't even have a website. So that's pretty cool to me. Because the fact is, a lot of you have websites where, as far as the search engines are concerned, it doesn't even matter because you're on page 50. Right? No one's going to find you anyway. Now, there's a lot of things we can do about that. It's something I specialize in, but that's not what we're talking about today. So let's assume you have a website, it's on page 50, and you want to get some visibility on the search engines. Okay, so that's really what I'm going to be looking at. And there's really, I mean, what are we trying to do? We're trying to populate the internet with your brand so that you show up for when people are searching for your field or whatever it is that you do. Positioning your company and your listing and things that are positive comments about you on what I call raging rivers. Okay, raging rivers are websites that have a ton of traffic. Right? Facebook has a ton of traffic. LinkedIn has a ton of traffic. MySpace, Craigslist, right? Some of the online forums and some of the other platforms that I'm going to talk about in just 2 seconds. And then the third thing is to leverage some of those big websites that are out there that do rank high on Google. So if there's information on you on that powerful website, then you show up high on the search engines, and it has nothing to do with your website. Okay, so here's a #1 page on Google for a keyword phrase, Walnut Creek hauling. Okay, and you can't read this. I know you can't read that, and that's fine. But the top listing is the guy's website, which that's a website that I built, and again, there's things you can do to get ranked really high for search engines. But check this out. He's got another listing right here that talks about him. That one is Merchant Circle, and down here, this one is Yahoo Local, and that one there is Yelp. So on the first page of Google for Walnut Creek hauling, there's only 10 listings. He's got 4 of them. That's awesome. And that's really, really cool. And it means that when someone searches for Walnut Creek hauling, they're like, oh my God, I mean, there are some other people on page 1, but this is obviously the guy I need, right? So it turns out there's a process here, and really what we're trying to do is find the biggest websites out there in your vertical, which means your industry or your field. And I'm going to talk about some generic ones in just a second, but the fact is, every one of your industries, there are websites that cater. If anyone's missing one of these handouts, I've got a couple extras here. Can I give you a couple to take back? If anyone wants one, she's got one. So look within your field. There's directories and there's websites that cater to your particular field where you can get your company listed. And when you do that, you can get ranked very high on the search engines without even having a website. Okay. So there's 4 generic ones that I'm going to cover really quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I just want to introduce you to 4 of them really quickly. And they are Yelp, Yahoo Local, City Search, and Merchant Circle. Okay. All of you, well, we'll get to it in 2 seconds. Let's just start with Yelp. And I don't have a lot of points to talk about with these, but the fact is that Yelp started as a review website for restaurants. But you can go on there yourself and create a listing for you or your company. It doesn't cost any money. And then you can send emails to your clients with the link that points to your page on the Yelp website and say, please write a review for me. Those reviews rank really high on Google. So you can get up there right away. Someone can write a couple of reviews for your profile on Yelp, and if they search for what you do in your city, chances are your Yelp listing is going to show up. Okay? Yahoo Local, same thing. Google Local has kind of a similar platform, but the bottom line is these websites exist. You can go on here. It doesn't cost any money to start to set up a listing on Yahoo Local. Now, Yahoo also has a very large internet directory where you can get listed in the directory. That costs money. That's $300 a year. And it can support your Yahoo Local listings, not necessary, but I just want to draw this distinction. There's the directory, that costs some money. But you can set yourself up with an account on Yahoo Local. It doesn't cost a thing, and it ranks really high. Okay. The next one is City Search. City Search costs money. This is not free. And they milk you for it, too. The programs start about $130. They go up from there. But they have a lot of very, very powerful internet marketing programs, things that you can do in terms of having ads and little placement on their network of sites. There's a lot of stuff that they offer. So if you want to turn it up a notch, the Google placement, the search engine placement for City Search is very, very strong. And you can get listed quickly, like a day, right? I mean, you know, they get indexed right away, so you can set it up and basically be there tomorrow or the next day. And the last one, I mean, read this. Free online advertising for your local business. I mean, what are we doing here? Every one of you should be on Merchant Circle. You can do it tomorrow. It doesn't take a lot of time. And Merchant Circle is a huge, it's a tank. The thing's massive. So it shows up on Google searches. It's not going to show up for every phrase, but if you're a plumber in Oakland and you search for plumber in Oakland, there's a good chance you're going to show up close to the top. Okay? Basic stuff. So basically the objectives, obviously, is to build your brand. This is what we're talking about in terms of online branding. Build your brand, expand your audience, right? Get people through search engines, and guess what? There's a ton of traffic on Yelp. There's a ton of traffic on Yahoo Local. There's a ton of traffic on City Search. So you're getting search engine traffic and traffic on the sites themselves. Okay, so you're hitting them on two different angles. It gives you an opportunity to manage the content that's about you on the internet. Now, I have a contract right now with a company in Florida where they've got, ripoffreport.com. There's places where you can report ripoffs, and they've got some people who reported some ripoffs, and they've hired me. I can't get rid of that listing, but I can populate the internet with all of these other things that push that ripoff report further down. You can do the same thing. You can flood the internet with positive listings about you, so that when someone Googles you, they're going to be like, wow, this person's everywhere and it's all positive.
It's interesting you mentioned ripoff, because when I was out in Florida, I was part of a lawsuit against that company, because what they found out is you can get off that report, you'll pay them $10,000.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
They're being sued right now.
Yeah, it turns out this particular ripoff report thing is pretty, the person was just pissed and took it out on the company. I don't think it's really that otherwise I wouldn't take the job. But anyway, everyone in this room can do this stuff. It's not that hard. All right. And then getting started is just, is just making the commitment and deciding to start doing it.